Wow, hey guys, what's up, Footzu Gang? Today we're back with another video. Sorry, I haven't uploaded in a while. It's been 2 weeks, something. Things have been happening. I've been having other things to do, and it's just I just haven't done it. So now I'm gonna get back on it. I'm gonna be posting every Tuesday, Thursday. I'm gonna try to no promises. No promises. So in today's video, it's gonna be a bit different. We're gonna be doing a reaction to a new player that's on the scene, is upcoming. You might know him. He is a new recruit on, well, not new, he's been on there for a while now, but Vinicius Junior on Real Madrid. Basically, we're gonna react to some clips of him. I'm gonna give you my insight, how I feel about this player, how I think he plays, how it matches up with Real Madrid, with how they're doing right now. Zidane just got announced as the manager back at Real Madrid again, so we'll see if that goes well for them. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So we see, just starting off, training clips. So I think this is just the final of Copa del Rey, where, okay, I'll stop. So it seems like it's just Barca versus Real Madrid, the recent game in the Copa del Rey. And yeah, that's basically what this game is, and we're gonna see now how he played during the game, and I'm gonna give you my reaction to it, how I think about how he plays and how he is as a player in general. I don't know what this video is gonna be, guys. Receives the ball. Okay, I mean, I could go for all these clips forever, but right as he receives it here, you know, it's we don't know the context of before, but you know, it was a bouncing pass, didn't look, you know, that direct to him. You know, it didn't look like that direct of a pass towards him. And the way he controlled, he has his back towards the other side of the goal, so now he's just facing towards his own side. And you know, Cruz is here, open for him, and he could have moved a little bit more, but here he has basically four guys on him right here, about to pressure him. Well, three guys, PK coming in from behind, and what he does here is he just protects the ball, and right as he knows, because he knows that these guys are going to go for the tackle, and right as he does that, he's just going to dive. He's just going to try to take the most advantage of that as possible. He purposely protected the ball, saw where he was coming from, and just put his foot right where the tackle was coming from, and was able to dive like this. Second clip, it's a similar one. You see that he's very glued to the sideline. You know, he sees that once he receives the ball, he's usually coming down, because, well, you'll see what he does is he'll usually try to go forward when he doesn't have the ball, and there's not a really opportunity for him to get the ball, so that he can give himself space, so that when there is a possibility of him getting the ball and someone can pass to him and he can receive the ball, he's created that space in between to come back to that first point and be able to receive the ball, you know, without having that defender completely on him, just stuck to him, just not moving. And so he's gonna move up, create the space for him behind, and then he's gonna come back to be able to receive the ball like that, like right here. And here he's not able to progress because he just has two players on him, and he has to pass back. Nothing special. I'm gonna put these back on. Oof. Let's go back to there. So you see, he's always coming back to be able to receive the ball, and he has space in front of him, and he sees that once he comes back and he has enough space, this player, I can't really recognize him in his quality, the left back, can take that opportunity and that space that Vinicius he left behind, and he can go and take that and just doblar, in Spanish we call it doblar, just like overtake him, like here. And now they have an attack all together. Decides to do a pass towards the middle, cutting through the three guys, which is not the smartest thing to do. You can see the guy always here. He's kind of has his arms up like, what are you doing? What is this? It's because this guy was wide open because of the space that that he made, and he just didn't pass to him, which that was the smartest option right there. It's like he's trying to pass in between three guys, and it's just not going to work. Here's another clip, Benzema. So here he's in a more of a forward position, Yeah. So it seems like they switched or something. He's in more of a forward position. He receives the ball. Make sure that he keeps tight with the defender. Make sure he puts himself between the defender and the ball. A very good tip for all forwards to learn. And he just dives. He just dives. I mean, once you're at that level, it's a thing that you see most players do, and you don't really get called out for it because it just happens so often. But every single time that you can get yourself between the ball and the defender, and you're just doing like this, even if they touch you and you fall, that you have a good chance of getting called for it. See, like, like it didn't even touch him, and it's just, you know, when you're at that level, it doesn't even matter anyway, because no one's gonna be like, "Oh, why are you doing this?" You know, mediocre cross. Didn't get enough height. Turns here. He's always coming back, and he's able. Okay, through pass through the defenders. That was probably the best thing he could have done there. I'm gonna go back. Mediocre. Yeah, it's just if the defender touched it, then I take back a lot of what I said. Doesn't it looks like someone touched it. So. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I'm just crazy. Okay, here, what was it? Feints back, and he's able to dribble forward and passes through the defenders again. It was a good run. It was a good try. It was a good opportunity from him. This video is going way too fast for me. Oh, I guess we could talk about this. It's kind of like how you see this happen a lot between teams, and if you just look out for it, you can see it way more. That there's always going to be a disconnect between all of the players. There's going to be a disconnect between what each player's goal is, what they want with the play at the moment. It's like Benzema. Realistically, he could have turned to this guy right here. He could have passed there, and then they could have switched to the other side or just continued. But Benzema wanted to. His pass wasn't for progression necessarily. You can see it was more just to keep possession. It was a safety pass. But Vinicius had a different. He had a different goal in mind, which was to go forward and progress the play. And you can see that Benzema's pass was towards backwards and it was meant for backwards, but he was just kept running, and in the end he wasn't able to get the ball. He's fine. Long ball to him, and he's not gonna. Okay. These clips, I don't really have anything to say about him necessarily. Okay. Let's see what he does here. Okay. What I would say is here. I guess you could say he waited a long time. He was just looking at his options. And at that speed, you have to think about this. After all the fatigue, the speed of the play that they're at, the level that they're at, it's even for them, it's really hard to make decisions and execute them properly sometimes. So when you're in this situation, he just, like that extra touch wasn't really needed. An extra run wasn't needed because now they have 5-6 Barca guys that are all down here ready to defend anything they got, and it's just all really and like you can see everyone's passes are really improvised at that point because it's just past the point of okay, we're gonna make these plays, and now it's okay, what play can we make at the moment? If you can understand that. Yeah, pass. Modric tries to play and he takes a shot. What I see from a lot of these young players is just that they're really young. All these players are all these like new and upcoming players. They're all really young, and you can't critique them like other players, which is the thing, which a lot of people don't do. They critique them and compare them to the other players, but you just have to critique them as themselves, where they are. He's super young in his career, and it's just the only thing they're missing. The only thing that like differences them from the other ones is really just experience, and that's what I've always said. There's a difference between like, I'm sure there'll be a difference between when he plays now, between if we see him in like 5 years, 6 years, we'll see the difference in his play tremendously. One thing I do not advise, you see all these pro players, but you can never really compare yourself to these pro players, even really good players at my age, at just younger players. You can't compare to these guys because these guys are all just way out of everyone's league, and you just have to be realistic sometimes. So when you see Vinicius Junior get the ball from the sideline and try to take on two guys at the same time, just don't try to follow him. In my opinion, sometimes when you play soccer, you have to be down to earth with your skills. Some kids have this idea of like they're in a world beyond where they are right now, and they'll think about that and they'll do decisions that are really rash because of that. And so my advice is just, realistically, if there's a 1v1 and you are confident with your skill set, then you should go for the 1v1, unless there's a... Okay, let me step back. Soccer players are all about making decisions. Or at the end of the day, they're all decision makers, and that's what makes them the best of the best. That's what's going to differentiate you from other people, is what decisions and actions you take. If you see that you can do a 1v1, or you have a long pass towards space, or you have a short pass, you can, if you decide, it's always going to be different in each situation. There's never a concrete answer, and that's one thing that you can't expect. There's no concrete answer to anything in soccer. There's infinite amount of situations that you can find yourself in, and there's not enough answers for all of them. But you also have, and if you can't, and if you're not at that level of making the perfect decision at each time, which none of us are, realistically, none of us are at that point. Not even the greats. You should know what decisions not to make, and that's an important key. So if you're one person against two, that's a decision you probably shouldn't make. When you have other options, you shouldn't go for the 1v2. I'm gonna keep hitting this mic, and it's gonna annoy me in the recording. Let's skip forward here. I'm getting bored. Just a shot deflected. Unlucky shot. Okay, let's see what else he could have done there in that situation. Cut back, and he was going for... Okay, this is another thing that I see him do a lot. He loves to go for the nutmeg passes, or the nutmeg in general. He loves doing that, and I'm also guilty of this. I like, if it's not... I won't do it in games. I mean, sometimes I go for... Okay, I've gone for this in games and in trainings as well. It's really fun to do, and it's just something that an option... It's different because some players see different options more viable than others, and this is just the part of decision makers, what makes other people good decision makers in soccer and what others make worse decision makers. So he decided that the best option for him right now, or what option that he sees, the only option he sees right now, the one that he's going to go for, is between the legs pass through PK all the way to Benzema. I'm wondering if he had a guy on his... Oh, my phone is going off. I wonder if he had a guy on his left side asking for the ball, but he probably would have had a player on him. These players, he could have cut back to this player right here, could have cut back to this player right here. But Vinicius is very dedicated on always moving forward. He's always going to move forward, always. That's probably one of the main reasons that he stands out, and why Real Madrid really see him as some potential for the future. See, it's just again and again. He receives the ball with space. He sees the 1v1, which is gonna turn into a 2v1 because he's just isolating himself from the rest of the team. And this is what, if you're this player on the team, which is always the one doing tons of dribbles, tons of isolating yourself and doing the solo plays, which is sometimes, if you're good with it, then you're good with it. People will appreciate that in the end if it works out. But you just see that, like, after you do it over and over again and you don't make the smart passes that could lead to a better team result, that players will just stop trying to support you in the play. You mean, like, you see these two players, they're slugging off rather than trying to attack fully with him because they know that the way he's playing, that they're probably not going to be able to get the ball anyway, which is, you probably seen it in teams as well. So that's just a thought. Rebote, he has the ball, he's gonna go for the shot. It's just a lot of these passes are like, because you'll see he does his little dribble thing, and that's his primary option where he goes, my finger is messed up. I busted my finger in the yesterday game, and it hurts a lot. So you see he does his primary dribble, and then right as he sees that he doesn't have an option, he'll just do a quick pass off, which is, he doesn't put thought in the pass first, in the play first, the passing play first. These passes will most likely not be the best option, at the moment. So like here, he dribbled right into Isco, right into the middle, and he tried to do the 1 meter pass to Isco, which is he does not have enough space to become the best team result, which would have been better if he just straight off looked for a pass, because it was more of a counterattack. It was like a block off or something, and in those situations, you either want to find a quick solution to not only try to keep possession, but that far up on the goal, you want to get an opportunity on goal. You want to have a shot on goal at least. So yeah. Okay, good pass, good run by Asensio. What is this now? Yeah. Running up on the side, he's gonna do a 2v1 again, and he just loses it. It's every single time. Every single time he does a 2v1, he loses it. And you see, like, this is one thing that annoys me so much, that like you'll see these professional players like clips or like highlights, and you'll see them like doing these like crazy 2v1 things in their like young career before they were on their star team, like Real Madrid. You'll see Vinicius on like the B team of Real Madrid, or like another team or something like that. And you'll see a whole bunch of players, and they'll do like these sick things. Like Neymar is a perfect example. You see him in Brazil, and he's doing all these crazy tricks in there, and because he was so unknown at the time, they can get all these tiny little highlights of this 90-minute, 5-season career at that team. And you see these little sliver of highlights of where he does this one nutmeg, or this one cool trick, and that's all implemented in the players. That's what they all take from that player in general, where in reality, their career was a lot different from that. It was a lot of mess ups, a lot of probably angry coaches, a lot of angry players. And it doesn't show I don't think the real true face of professional players and just, semi-professional players. All of this is, the truth is that everybody messes up. And once you get all these like highlights on YouTube about all these players doing these skills successfully, they don't show the hundreds or thousands of times they messed up doing that exact same thing, making them look like an idiot, But that's part of it. You have to, because all these players, in the end, they all have been idiots at some point in their career. They've all made mistakes, except for probably Messi. I don't know. But most of these players, like these are just two teams. These are just 22 players in total that we're seeing here. There's just so many players out there. There's so many, and it's just, yeah. I'm sorry. Okay. We'll get back to the video. But that just annoys me a lot, how I see like these highlight reels, and they'll show like little like 5-second clips of like a one game that they did back in 2001, and how they did like this all correctly. Okay, that's the end of the video. I'm sorry. So overall, I have the same opinion for a lot of these young players on these star teams, on these like, oh, he's gonna be big, he's gonna be big, he's worth this much, he's worth this much. I think, you know, they're all young, they all need experience. Some of them have potential, you know. Like there's always been like there was like a lot of hype for like Asensio and Isco, for example, and now they're just like basically just semi-base players on Real Madrid. It's not like, you know, some people wouldn't say they don't live up to the star they were expected to be when they completely are. It's just that in a team like Real Madrid, where they're all blended in with these fantastic players, it's just hard to see that, you know. And so I hope, you know, if you expect Vinicius Junior to be the next this, don't even think about that. You want to think about how Vinicius can improve for himself, how far he can go for himself, excluding team, other players that he can compare to, anything like that. Same thing goes for other players like Sancho, Mbappe. Mbappe's already a star, so yeah, that's all I really have for this video. Thank you, Footzu Gang, for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out my website where I'm going to show you I have a new course coming out. A new course going about 10 core concepts of soccer. And so make sure to check that out. I'll probably hit you guys up somehow with a video when that's out to make sure you guys are able to get that. It's basically all about 10 core concepts and 10 important skill sets and lessons that I've learned from my 5 years here training in Spain. That's all I have for you guys, so peace.